welcome on Mijas International, Claudine Reid, MBE. She's the former Cabinet Office Social Enterprise Ambassador. She's here on the Costa del Sol for the Women on the Frontline Summit, which is taking place at the Beatrice Palace Hotel from the 24th to the 27th of April. Now, Claudine is also a trustee for the Nurture Foundation, and that's an international charity working to support and empower parents in the third world countries. And she was appointed to the National Social Enterprise Expert Panel for Government Office of Civil Society. Now, this is amongst other things. You're a very busy lady. Lovely to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me, Karen.
In fact, you only arrived this morning, didn't you?
Yes, I did indeed with my husband. So literally, it's fantastic coming here because there's no, major time difference. So don't feel jet lagged or anything.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Now, you have been here before, and you chose Spain to do the summit.
Yes.
Yeah. I presume because of the location, it's beautiful views, and of course there's so many different nationalities that live here on the coast.
Absolutely. I mean, for all of the above reasons, and coming from the UK, sun is one of the things that we crave the most. And so to do the summit here, what it meant was we could kind of have the best of both worlds. We can have the coaching, we can have empowerment, we can have the sun, the sand and the sea, and hopefully everybody will leave with huge smiley faces.
Yes, they will. Now, interesting life, very, very busy life. When you were studying for your degree, you had a placement year.
That's right.
And this was with the PJS group,
Yep.
which you're a partner of now, with your own partner, your own husband,
Yes.
Patrick. And in this placement year, you worked there at that company. You got married, and you did 5 months of your time in Holland as well.
That's right.
I presume all your colleagues, when you got back to university, went, "What on earth have you been doing?"
I had a very eventful year away. I got married, went to Holland, got a new placement, but it was really fantastic, and I think it was a really brilliant foundation for life, if you like. I really do believe, Karen, that you get out of life what you put into it, and I think I've always been quite ambitious, a bit of a go-getter,
yes.
Believing that nothing's impossible, so all of those things happen. I think apart from the marriage thing, I hadn't planned that. That was just kind of, that just happened as we went along, but 18 years later, still very happy, so that was a good thing.
Yes, you have 2 teenagers.
I do.
You do all this work, and you're also a trainer, inspirational speaker,
Yes.
TV and radio presenter on top of that.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I think I've just learnt to balance my time very well. Everybody under the clock is equal. We all have 24 hours, and I've just decided to surround myself. I have a fantastic team of staff back in the UK, managing the fort. When I arrived this morning, actually, they called me to say, "Oh, we've got an unannounced inspection," but they are absolutely more than able to manage in our absence, and they're a fantastic team. And I think that's what really, when I speak to women, that's one of the things that I say the most. It's important to surround yourself with people that can help you achieve the goals that you want to achieve. I have a very strong family network. They've always helped in terms of, I'll phone mum, I need to leave somebody to look after the kids. And she's always been absolutely fantastic, very, very supportive. So my team of staff plus my family, that's what's really allowed me to be able to do the things that I do and to have that balance. And the good thing is, I've always been in the position, I've always wanted to be the mum that picks the children up from school and takes them to school and just have that balance. Yeah. And I've been able to do that because of how I've chosen just to surround myself with people that can help.
That can give you good support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, talking about the Women on the Frontline Summit.
Yes.
It's 3 days. It's coaching, networking and power conversations, you've described it as. And you've been doing this sort of thing. You've been helping women break down barriers and empowering them themselves for 2 decades.
Yes.
And you say there's 11 reasons to attend.
Yes.
So perhaps we should talk about some of these reasons.
Yeah.
What you think are, perhaps pick out a few of them that are the most important.
Yeah. I mean, Karen, what's happened over the last couple of years, over 2 decades, I've been working to support women, and that really came from my own personal experience. For as much as I'm, quite ambitious and, a bit of a go-getter, there comes a time in life where I think people have this whole thing of what I refer to as toxic self-sabotaging thoughts. So it's not necessarily that you can't do something, but it's the stories that you tell yourself as to the reasons why, you're not good enough, or you don't have the correct skills, or you don't have the right education, or you don't know the right people, or you don't know how to say the right things.
All the negative.
All the negative things. Yeah. And when I think of some of those thoughts that I used to have, but yet still ended up working in government office, being the youngest person, or in my opinion, perhaps not the most highly educated person, but actually I still managed to achieve all of those things. And so over the next 3 days, I'm going to be spending a significant period of time coaching women and looking at where's their end goal, what's that vision, what does it look like? And based on what that vision looks like, that plan of the future in 5 years, 10 years time, let's then start where we are now and take small bite-sized steps as to how we're going to reach there. Because it's those self-sabotaging thoughts I really want to be able to get into to demonstrate that actually whatever it is that you've put your mind to achieve, you can do it.
You can do it.
And I'm a real-life living example of that. So it's part personal experience, part theory. I went to college, I got a degree, management training. I've been managing a team of over 100 staff for, 18
Goodness
years.
knows how many years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it's a combination of all of those things. So we'll be looking at personal development, we'll be looking at business development, and having those power conversations that move you from point A to point B to wherever it is that you want to get to.
So it's really all of you sitting down there as well and talking through things, and experiences of other people is taken into account as well. So
yes.
You're taking people through all the different steps.
Yeah, so definitely not lecture style, because
No.
I believe that sometimes, 9 times out of 10 actually, the answer is really inside you. My role is really just to help pull it out. And we'll do that through the power conversations. We've got some fantastic new teaching methods that I've brought along with me to help empower the women and actually help them to take that look of focused thinking and cultivate thoughts that actually think, oh my gosh, I can really do this. So that's what we're going to be doing over the next 3 days. And we're going to have the sun, which already welcomed us today. We're really, really looking forward to it.
Okay. And it's not aimed at women that are already entrepreneurs and are in business. It's also aimed at women that might be thinking of setting up their own business.
Absolutely, yes.
So what would be perhaps your first advice to somebody that is thinking about, they've got a family,
Yeah.
they're not too sure about their interpersonal skills and their business skills, but they do want to set up their business of their own. What would you say to them?
Yeah. Those are the types of people I absolutely love working with, because what you've described there was me however many years ago. I had a family, and it was about trying to balance all of those things and trying to make sure that it worked in the way that I wanted it to work. And so to those women who fall into that category that you've just described, one of the first things I'd get them to do is let's have a look at their time. Everybody's got 24 hours. Now, if you're a young mother with young children, perhaps spending 7 hours a day developing a business may not be realistic, but we can take 15 minutes. We can take 20 minutes, whilst the children are sleeping, or if they're off at a play group or playing with their friends even. We can operate using what I refer to as the chunking principle, taking small chunks of a day to work on that plan. And it might just be the way how people choose to work around social media, around doing research, around jumping online, doing some research when they possibly can. So what we'll be looking at first and foremost is your personal space, your personal surrounding, your frame of reference. What is it that you have, or what time do you have, can you carve out of your already busy day, and what time can you use to contribute to building that business? Those are one of the things that we'll have a look at first. Once we've kind of identified, right, I've got 2 hours in my day to really focus on the business, then we can start looking at the steps that we need to take around the business plan, around the marketing, around the social media structure, around the finance plan, and looking at what some of the regulations might be. But I think one of the things to remember is that Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yeah.
Businesses aren't built in a day. But what I'm coming here to do is equip women with the tools that will help them to get started. And then once they've got started, it's almost like you've kind of built up that momentum. So then hopefully you'll be excited about this thing and just carry on going from there.
Sounds great. Sounds perfect. Now, if people are wanting to come along, they can actually go onto the website.
Yes, they can.
Comes up on the screen.
Yep.
It's pjsgroup.co.uk.
That's correct.
Or they can go along to the Beatrice Palace Hotel, can't they?
Yes, they can indeed. So they've got two options there. We've got the networking reception also on Thursday. They're free to come along. That's a complimentary event. Really what I'd like to do is just to connect with people. This is really about connection. It's about empowerment. It's about coaching. It's about expanding our opportunities. And so we've got women from across the UK, different areas of interest that they have, and we've just come for connection.
Yes, okay. Well, great. It's going to be a really packed 3 days and very useful for a lot of people. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be back with you at the same time tomorrow on Mijas International 340 TV, and also back with you on Radio Mijas 107.7 FM. Gabby Ray will have all the latest local news for you from 4:30 in the afternoon for the television and 4 o'clock for Radio Mijas. Hasta mañana.